Okay, guys, let's do the 12 o'clock review. Today is Friday, October 12th. And the first thing mentioned this morning was INFY. Now, if we go to the daily chart on INFY, you can see it was a pro money gap under a green bar. I usually like to take a 5-minute failure here when the gap is this big. Or if that doesn't set up, I will take a 1-minute tight base, and that's exactly what we had here. So I called this 1-minute tight base here under 94. And stop was over 42, which is right over the top, this topping tail here, and we got a trigger. Now that was about a 50-cent stop. A better entry that wasn't called would have been even better. Was right here. You could have taken it under 94, and your stop would have been over 12. And this was a 5-minute bicep that failed immediately. Would have been a really good one, a nice tight stop. And if we go to a 5-minute chart, you can see that it came down for a number of bars. Now, I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and I took the first half over this 62. I took the next half once this 5-minute sell setup set up, but they never triggered, and then started going higher. So in all, it wasn't a huge trade for me. It was only a little less than half an hour trade. If you would have taken the other entry that I mentioned with a tighter stop, with a 20-cent stop, you could have made 3 or 4 R's. So again, it proves the point. The tighter stops can really make all the difference between making a lot of money or making a little money, and this is a perfect illustration of that. Secondly, what was mentioned this morning in the room was JBHT. And JB Hunt was another money or pro gap over red, gapping too far. And I mentioned that you could take the 5-minute high. Now this isn't my entry. This is what's called, this first bar is a spinning top. I like to see more of a solid red green bar here, where the tails are equal, the body's the same. It's right in the middle like a spinning top. So I did call that you could take this if you liked it, because it was relative strength to everything else in the market over 58.37, and your stop would have been half of this pullback here. And once we got up to the high here, I said that I was taking half at 59, under 59.15, and the profits that I made with that, I was subtracting that from my entry price, and that would be my break even on the back half. Well, it turns out I ended up getting stopped out on the back half at that break even. So I was break even overall in the whole position. Didn't play that the best either. Again, this wasn't the best entry. I didn't play this one at all, but I'm saying it wasn't the best. If I was explaining how you would manage it, and on the management wouldn't have been the best either. But it was a way to stay in the stock and give it the benefit of seeing if it could go higher, because it did have great relative strength to the market early on, but it just fizzled after that. And now it basically hasn't done too much wrong. It's still trading sideways here, and it could be a play for the afternoon. The biggest winner of the day that was mentioned in the room was NPSP. And NPSP was just a wonderful trade. Gapping over a red, gapping over a pivot. And I mentioned that you could take NPSP let's go to the 2-minute. I actually mentioned it here at 10.15 and stop under 86. You could have got a better entry. Even again, the second entry was even better. You could have taken this 5-minute buy setup here at 13, stop 04, or you also could have taken over 23 and your stop under 04. So both of those entries were better than my first original entry. But this just kept performing, kept going up, and took half at 10.70, which is the previous resistance on the daily chart, and on the back half finally took the rest right here when this 5-minute failed under 11.05, called 11.03. And the last thing called in the room today was AMD, and AMD was a gap under this area here. It's just been a very slow mover, and played it once this 2-minute started to roll here under 92. So the entry was 91 and your stop was over 96, and we're up just a little bit on that. It's relative weakness for the day. It's a very slow mover, and we'll see how that performs. So those are the plays for today. Guys, you don't have to have a lot of plays every day to make a lot of money. You only need one or two to do very, very well. Today's been a tricky market because the market went up and now it's came all the way back in from the earlier gains. But again, this was today's review for Friday, October 12th. We'll see you next time.